So the question for today is, when does the country come first? When? When does the country actually get to come before a person, a party, an industry, an ideology, a religion? When do we get to come first? I watched a little bit of, not much, of the cabinet meeting today. Watched Donald Trump. He slept through everything I watched. I don't know about you guys. And of course, Republicans are going to say, "Oh, he's great. He's full of vitality." They're going to pull the same crap that the Democrats pulled with Joe Biden and just pretend like it's not a thing. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the well-being of the country is way down here on the priority list. At the end of the day, it's down here. It should be up here, but no, it's down here. It's the reason I didn't vote for Joe Biden in 2016. Listen, you hand me some 75, 80-year-old candidate, I don't care who he is or what he believes, I'm not voting for him. That's not a thing. I didn't vote for Joe Biden because he was old. And I knew he wouldn't make it to the next election. And I suspected that if I voted for Joe Biden and he won, that Donald Trump would end up being the president again. And here we are. And I've been telling people this for years, and they still give me a hard time about it. How could you not vote for Joe Biden? How could you vote for Joe Biden? How could you vote for Donald Trump? How could you possibly be thinking about what's best for this country when you're voting for people that are literally nearly on life support? Like, what is the matter with you? And we now live in this country where, whoever wins, an early state, everyone just falls in line like sheep and runs them up to the nomination. I'm not saying Joe Biden was a bad president. I'm saying he never should have been president. I'm saying we are where we are today because he was the president. The Democrats elected Joe Biden out of desperation, out of fear of Donald Trump. I believe many of those Democratic candidates that ran in 2016 could have beat Joe Biden. Yeah, because they could have. But we got to play it safe. Let's not think about the long term. Let's not think about the implications of putting someone this age in office. Let's not be concerned about that. We have to win. We have to win today. Doesn't matter. That type of thought process, that cannot be a thought process that you own and be thinking about the betterment of the country. It's impossible. And, I'm so frustrated. When I was a little kid, Republicans were acting like Ronald Reagan hadn't lost his mind in his old age. I've been dealing with this stuff my whole life. So the question remains, when do we get to put the United States first? When do we get to think about what's actually best for the country? And actually do something that makes a little bit of sense in moving our country forward. When is that a thing that's going to happen? When are we going to start voting with our conscience instead of following the crowd? Oh, a bunch of people in one of these early states voted for Biden. Well, the rest of the country's got to do it too. What? Why? Why is that a thing? I really think Americans have lost their way when it comes to political campaigns and elections and how we elect people. None of it makes any sense to me. We never elect the best candidates. Very few people are actually willing to run anymore because we have poisoned the well so much with our vitriol People ask me all the time, hey, would you ever run for office? Why in the world would I run for office? Why would I put my family through that? Who in the world's going to do that? Yeah, let me go work my ass off and run for office so somebody can come over here and write a check for $1 billion and just sink me immediately. I mean, that's basically how it works. Why would, when you make it impossible for good people to run, they're not going to. And that's what we've done in this country. We've poisoned the well so much that, you can't find decent people to run for office. And we wonder why government is so dysfunctional. It's because it's a reflection of the people. We sit around talking about how terrible the government is. Well, yeah, of course it's terrible. The people are terrible. Why wouldn't the government be terrible? What is it about our society that makes you think that it would produce a good, strong, functioning government? What exactly are those qualities that would make you believe for a second that we are even capable of electing a competent government? We don't even have a competent society. How can we have a competent government? I mean, seriously. I'm on a little bit of a roll today, folks. But this is what happens when you spend your life watching your country just degrade. Just what it's done in the last 50 years I've been alive, maybe 51. I'm not even sure how old I am anymore. So yeah. Every single little talking point has to be magnified into huge wins by one side, huge losses by the other. 99% of that stuff doesn't make a hill of beans to anybody because it doesn't matter. And I'm sitting here wondering, is there anyone left that even cares? Is like, has everyone just given up? Because that's what it feels like. The apathy in this country. It feels to me like we have collectively just given up. We've just thrown up our hands and said to hell with it. But the problem is we've created this. That's the problem. We've created it. The disaster that is the United States. Wow. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Cuss me if you want. I don't care. Really appreciate all my new followers and subscribers. Hope you guys have a great day and let me know your thoughts. Thanks.